Hi all, this is a bit of a response video to Stig's how I got into wargaming. There's a few other people that have done it, I can't remember who, so I'm kind of just going to waffle on for a few minutes. So if you don't want to listen to me waffling on, then switch off. But yeah, so how I started, I started off, I got them little 1/72 scale toy soldiers, Airfix ones, plastic ones. I started off with them, really. My dad used to work away, so when he came back at weekends, he'd fetch me a box of them soldiers. I had thousands of them, loads and loads, and I used to line them up all over the floor and have huge epic battles with them. So that's what I started with. And then, obviously, like a lot of us, I guess, I got into the Airfix models. But mostly did aeroplanes and ships, really, like World War II ships and tall ships. My dad was in the Navy, so obviously he was paying for them. So that's what I got. I did them. I wasn't particularly good at painting back then. Very messy. But I'll tell you what I have seen. I don't know whether any of you guys have seen it. Is that, oh God, who is it? Is it D'Agostini? They do like a magazine and give you a couple of parts each week to build the Victory, HMS Victory. And I am tempted. But, I mean, the time you've finished paying for that magazine, you pay like 700-800 quid for this boat. But it does look nice, but then of course you've got to do it justice for that kind of money. Anyway, I digress. Where was I? So yeah, mostly boats and planes. Planes I used to just hang from a scene or just crash into each other. And that was that. And then I kind of stopped doing all that. Maybe carried on with the models a bit. But my dad bought me this box of Playmobil, if anyone remembers Playmobil. And it was like a box of knights, and there was like a black knight, a white knight, a green knight, and all that. And they all, you know, they were all suits of armour, and they got shields, and they're all riding horses, and it was excellent. So I got that, and then obviously a few more. And so I used to build armies of Playmobil then, and they did little castles and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really cool. I kind of did all Playmobil-y stuff, and you know, the occasional model, but not so much. And then I kind of stopped for a while. And then me and a mate at school got into a brilliant game. I did board games, obviously, you know, like Monopoly and all that stuff. But we got into a game called Axis and Allies. I don't know if any of you played that. It's a World War II board game. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, me and my mate had games, and I used to play against my dad and all sorts, and we'd make it. The game could last 3 days. We'd have to leave it, go home, come back the next day, and start again. It was brilliant, loved it. But then, like all of us, I suppose, I discovered beer and pizzas and women. So everything came to a complete stop. And then I briefly got back in the really early 90s, I think. I got into Space Hulk. Me and my mate bought a copy of Space Hulk between us. So I briefly kind of got back in then, but I mean, we didn't really follow the rules. We just kind of turned it into a bit of a mental drinking game. And then, you know, we stopped doing that. Didn't really do anything again for a while. Nothing hobby for quite a few years. And then I left the army, and I got into a really crap job that I hated. I used to walk through my hometown, which is Doncaster. We used to walk through, and there's a GW there, and I used to look at, you know, all the models I had in the display cabinet, and I'd look inside with the gaming tables. I mean, back in them days, you could go to all different GWs, they'd all be different, because each manager made his own gaming tables and stuff. I mean, now they're just pretty generic. But anyway, so yeah, I used to walk past a lot. I didn't go in very often, because they just annoyed the hell out of me. They're just so frothy and bouncy. It's like, calm down, mate, for God's sake. Give yourself an heart attack. So, yeah, they used to drive me a bit mad. Little did I know. So, anyway, I bought the High Elf and Goblin edition of Fantasy, if anyone remembers that. She got loads of plastic high elves, loads of goblins. Millions of goblins. And then you used to get them little cardboard, I think there was a cardboard dragon and a bolt thrower and a rock lobber. It was brilliant. And I used to play that, well, pretty much on my own, really, because none of my mates were into it. So, yeah. So I got that. And then I used to, I'd say I'd walk past every now and then. And one day I walked past and there was a sign in the window saying managers wanted. So I thought, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I was in a job that I hated. So I applied and, what do you know, I got the job. And I became manager of that store in Doncaster. So that was pretty cool. And then obviously I got into all the workshop games. Then I played everyone, you know, Epic and whatever. I can't remember. There's loads, Mordheim, loads, 40k, everything. Whatever they had, obviously I had to play it because I had to know the rules to sell it to people. But I liked it. I loved it. It was a great job. But you know, things happen in your life, so I had to walk away from it at some point. And yeah, and then I kind of stopped completely again. Didn't do anything again for a couple of years after I left workshop. And then I met up with some guys from the store. Used to be my regular customers, like, and became friends, obviously. And I got back into it. Played Fantasy mostly. That was my favourite game. Fantasy, without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Age of Sigmar's any good, because I just tend to slate it regardless because it killed Fantasy off. So, I mean, my favourite army was Dark Elves. I've still got a few, but obviously I don't play anymore. I'm not going to rebase them all, and can't bothered. And for me, the reason I preferred Fantasy to 40k was a war game to me is lots of big units, groups of troops, cavalry and cannons and all that sort of stuff. And that, the visual spectacle, that's a war game as far as I'm concerned. That's what I like to see. I mean, don't get me wrong, I play bolt action, I like it. That's about the only skirmish game I do play at the minute. But when they killed Fantasy off and replaced it with Age of Sigmar, I mean, it might be a good game, I don't know. But it hasn't got that spectacle for me, so it doesn't quite cut it. But I have been watching some of the lads at the club. They all play 40k, and they're all you know, bouncing around about 8th edition. So I thought, well, what do I do? I'll have a look. So I watched them play a couple of games, and I have to say, I do quite like it. So I'll probably end up after all these years, getting back into some GW, getting some 40k stuff. I don't know what yet. Probably Eldar. I had Eldar before. I like Eldar. Who knows? I don't know. I'll probably get something, because I mean, they do play a lot of it, a lot of 40k there. We all used to play Fantasy, but obviously we don't now. A few of them play bolt action though, but nobody apart from me does historical. Nobody does Napoleonics or Ancients or anything. So when I do Napoleonics, I have to take British and French, or if I do ACW, I have to take both armies, which means I have to paint both armies. And occasionally they'll join in, like they're happy to play, but nobody is going to commit to it, which is a bit of a pain. So, you know, I'll have to get 40k instead. But I'll carry on with my Ancients, because I just love them. I love my Ancients and my Napoleonics, because I just love that spectacle of all them massive. This is another reason probably I do 28mm rather than, you know, some of the smaller scales like 6mm or 10mm or 15mm. Because it just looks, visually, it's just wow. Whereas I think you lose that slightly, especially with 15mm, maybe not so much, because I did have a big Flames of War army, but I got rid of that. But yeah, 15mm still looks pretty good. But I think you get smaller than that. 10mm, at 6mm, I really can't see the point at 6mm. You just don't get that visual spectacle for me. Just my opinion. I know some people love it, but yeah, 10mm maybe, 15mm. Yeah, I can live with 15mm, but I don't think I can go much smaller than that. Anyway, anything else to tell you? Oh, I've got my own little miniature company. I've had so much stress with this. I think I'm just about through it all now. I'm not far off of getting done what I need to get done. Wow. And then I've had, oh God, I don't want to turn this into it. See, this channel for me, it's all about the hobby. I don't want to get all businessy. I don't want it to go down that road at all. It's just purely hobby. The fun of it, the thing I enjoy, not that. I mean, I might show you the models one day, if you know, because I'll have nothing else painted because I'll be painting them. But yeah, this isn't a stage for me to show off my stuff. This is me and the hobby. So that's pretty much it. That's kind of how I got into wargaming and why. And for once on this side of the camera, it's because I've only got an iPhone, so you know I can only be one. I can either show you the models or you can look at me. Shall we have a look at these? So this is what I have been painting. These are the Victrix. It's probably not going to focus. I haven't finished them all yet. Well, I haven't finished them. I've run out of bases again. But these are really nice figures. You'll be able to see when I do a proper video and the camera's actually looking at the models. You get 25 in a box, so this you get, if you're doing a 24-man unit, this is your spare dude. And every legion had their own eagle. So it was called the Aquilifier, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not really that bothered. So I thought I'd do him like that, and then the next one I get, the next box, I'll maybe put an officer on there with him, so I'm making a nice little command base. And so your normal command for your legionaries, the cohorts, are they? So that's like them guys. Again, lion pelts on these. They come with lions. I think it's either bears or wolves. So the rest of them will have something else. I'll swap them about. And then all these little discs and things on the standard that they carry, they're like battle honours. So obviously the more of them you got, the cooler your cohort is, because they've done more stuff. And then I just want to show you this. Are you going to focus? Is it focusing? No, it's not going to have it. I'll have to do a proper video of these as well. These are my British Bolt Action Army. The reason I wanted to show you is because this guy, I've kind of got him, so he's got a manic grin while he's shooting. Like, ah! It really amuses me anyway. The last thing, oh, a couple more, go on. This is my anti-tank gun. Again, as I say, I'll do a proper video of the British at some point. But I've just seen it the base up a bit, made a little hedge, and then they've kicked down that bit of fencing so they can point the gun through. And yeah, put loads of stuff on the base as I tend to do. And the last thing, because I've got vehicles obviously for these as well, is my ever popular Wasp. Yeah, so you can imagine how popular I am when I feel that at the club. So I don't take it out so often. And that's pretty much it. So that's how I got into wargaming. A little bit of eye candy there at the end. So if you've managed to stay this long, stay with me this long, well done. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was insightful. A little bit of eye candy for you. And speak to you all soon. Bye bye.